Dear students, today we are going to see about decision theory, decision making under uncertainty. I am Dr. C. Sudhakar with you. Decision making under uncertainty, we are going to see various different methods for solution now. Following methods can be used by a decision maker if the future is uncertain. That is, the states of natures are not certain for us, and if you are not having the proper information, valid data, or even sometimes the very less availability of the data, we can use these methods. The first method is called maximum criterion or pessimistic approach or walled criterion. Maximum criterion have the approach of a pessimistic. Pessimistic means we think that everything will go as worst situation in the market, then even if the worst situation is happening, how much the maximum profit we can expect from the market. That is called the pessimistic approach. Note that the maximum criterion can be applied only of a profit payoff table. Okay. Now, minimax criterion. Minimax criterion or realistic approach or savage criterion. So this approach assumes that the market is good. Even if the market is good, what is the minimum profit we can expect from the business? So this is called a minimax criterion. And third one is called the maximax criterion, optimistic approach. That means we think that the market will be a very good market and we are going to make the maximum profit out of it. So these are the three different types of approaches. Basic thing. Suppose if you know some basic information about the future course of action, then the probability is known to us. We can take this approach. It is called Laplace criterion or probabilistic approach or Bayes criterion. The fourth one is called Hurwicz alpha criterion or experts degree of optimism or realism criterion. In this case, if you are having certain amount of information about the business in the past from the past data, or if you are an expert in that business, we can include your expert as a number, that is called an alpha. Okay, alpha is a degree of optimism. The degree of optimism is available to us. We can use this approach to make decisions. The last one is the regret minimax criterion. So that means loss of opportunity. Okay, so based on the attitude of the decision maker and based on the nature of the market data, we can use the proper method for the problems. Okay, let us see them one by one. Let us take a question, a sample question. We can take it. A cake shop can manufacture three types of cakes. Okay. The demand varies according to the season. The fixed and variable costs are given below. Okay. Let us assume that the cake shop is manufacturing three types of cakes: butter cake, sponge cake and fruit cake. The fixed cost and variable costs are given here. Now, nature of the demand are, if the market is a very poor market, the units can be sold is only 3000 units. That is 3000 cakes only we can sell if the market is a bad market or poor market. It is not responding well. If the market is a moderate market, that is in between the low and high, we can expect a sales of 4000 cakes. If the market is a very good market, if it is a very good season, we can expect a sales of 5000 units of cakes. We can expect the sales. And variable cost is 5 reals for a butter cake for 1 unit and 4 units for a sponge cake 1 unit and 7 reals for a fruit cake 1 unit. Fixed cost is for the bulk of cakes. 200 reals is the fixed cost for the, if you are trying to manufacture a butter cake, and 300 reals is the fixed cost when you are making a sponge cake. It may be the cost of the machine or it can be the display and other cost involved with the labors and marketing, everything involved here. Okay, so therefore this is 200 real to, if you are manufacturing a butter cake, you have to spend, all of them are in terms of reals or any currencies. Okay, for our example, we'll take them as reals. Assume that all cakes are of same size and sold at same price. The sales price of a cake is 20 OMR. Okay. Prepare the payoff table. If the manufacturer decides to prepare any one type of cake only, suggest the best option under the following different approaches. So there are two questions here. One is we should first prepare the payoff table, then based on the different approaches we have to say the cake manufacturer can manufacture which type of cake. It is given that going to prepare any one type cake only. Okay, therefore based on the approach we are going to give decision on this course of action. So this is the course of action for us. Either we can make a decision, prepare butter cake, or we can make a decision, we can make a sponge cake, or we can make a decision fruit cake. So this is called the course of actions, and these are called the states of natures: the poor market, moderate market, and high market. Okay, so states of natures are given here. Now what are the different types of approaches it is asked? Based on the pessimistic approach, based on the ambivalent approach, optimistic approach, probabilistic approach, and Hurwicz alpha criterion or experts approach. Okay, so let us see them one by one. Our first question is prepare the payoff table. Let us start answering for this. Let us start the answer. So these are the data given to us in the question. Under the poor market, what is the expected sales? 3000 units, 4000 units, 5000 units. And what is the cost involved in manufacturing? Fixed cost and variable cost. So price per cake, it is equal to 20 OMR. Okay, now let us say B is the butter cake and S is the sponge cake and F is the fruit cake. Okay, so let B, S, F are the three types of cakes, and P, M, H are the three types of demands, that is the poor demand, moderate demand, and high demand. So for our convenience, let us use these letters. The profit will be given by revenue minus variable cost minus the fixed cost. So we know that revenue will be given by number of items sold into price per item. So number of items sold into price per item. So price per item is 20 OMR is the price. If you are selling 2 cakes, you should give 20 into 2, 40 reals. So the number of items sold into price per item, that is called the variable cost, is equal to number of items into cost per item. So if you are selling 5 butter cakes, for making one butter cake we should spend 5 reals. If you are selling 5 butter cakes, 5 into 5, 25 reals we should spend for a butter cake. So number of items into cost per item. Okay, so that is will give the variable cost for us. Then fixed cost is not going to be changed with respect to the number of products. If you are making 5 butter cakes, then the fixed cost is 200. Even if you are making 1000 butter cakes, the fixed cost is going to be 200. It will not change. That's why. Now let us find what is the profit we can make from the butter cake. Okay, in poor demand conditions. Okay, so BP means we are going to make the cost analysis or payoffs for the butter cake under poor demand conditions. First let us calculate what is the revenue for it. Revenue of the butter cake is, we are expecting under the poor market conditions 3000 units we can sell. Therefore from this 3000 poor, from each cake we are going to sell it for 20 reals. So we get 3000 into 20 equal to 60,000 reals we can get it. Variable cost. So for manufacturing this 3000 units of butter cakes, for each cake we are going to spend 5 reals. So 3000 into 5, 15,000 reals we have to spend to manufacture 3000 cakes. Then the fixed cost is going to be equal to 200. So it is not depending on the number of cakes, so therefore we simply put it as 200. Now let us see what is the profit from here. The profit is going to be equal to revenue minus variable cost minus fixed cost. So this is our revenue 6000 and this is our variable cost 15,000 and minus the fixed cost 200. So if you do this calculation, 60,000 minus 15,000 minus 200, it is going to be 44,800 OMR. So this is the profit from butter cake under poor market conditions. Now let us calculate the next scenario. The next scenario is what is the profit for the butter cake in moderate demand condition. So BM denotes that butter cake in moderate demand condition. So the same method we are going to follow it. Revenue is equal to 4000 into 20 now. Why? When the demand is moderate, we can sell 4000 units of cake. So 4000, each cake we can sell for 20 reals, therefore 4000 into 20 equal to 80,000. So this is the selling price of a cake. Okay, so 20, so we got 4000 into 20 is equal to 80,000 reals. We can make the revenue. Variable cost is 4000 into 5. So to prepare one cake we are spending 5 reals. It is from the table. It is given to us in the question. So to prepare 4000 cakes we should spend 20,000 reals. Now what is the variable fixed cost for this? The fixed cost is going to be equal to the same 200. Now we can calculate what is the profit from this BM. Profit from BM is equal to 80,000 minus 20,000 minus 200, that is going to be 59,800. So this is the payoff for BM. Let us go to the third case. The profit for butter cake in high demand conditions. That is the third states of nature for us. So we call it as BH, butter cake in high demand. Now in high demand we can sell 5,000 units of cake. Therefore the revenue is going to be 5,000 into 20, 1 lakh. Variable cost is 5,000 into 5, because for making one butter cake we are spending 5 reals. 5,000 into 5 is 25,000 reals we should spend. Then what is the fixed cost? Fixed cost is not changed, it is going to be 200. Therefore if you are making a butter cake in high demand nature of, then we can make a profit of 1 lakh minus 25,000 minus 200, that is going to be 74,800 OMR. So we have taken only one cake and we have calculated the payoff on different states of nature, different demand natures. Similarly we can do it for the sponge cake also. When you are doing for the sponge cake, we can get the following details. So how we are going to calculate it? Profit from sponge cake under the poor demand condition is, first let us calculate, it is 3000. So from where we are getting 3000? 3000 is from the poor demand conditions into 20 reals. The sales price is going to be same 20, but we are going to have 4 reals we are going to spend for manufacturing one sponge cake, and fixed cost is going to be 300. So these two data are given here, 300 into 4. Now under moderate conditions we are going to sell 4000 cakes. So therefore only this number will change here. So 4000 into 20 minus 4000 into 4 minus 300. So this is the revenue for us, and this is second part is going to be the variable cost for us, and this is a fixed cost. And similarly for the third option, S into H, that is a sponge cake in high demand condition, is going to be 5000. Okay, it is given to us here, 5000 into 20 minus 5000 into 4 minus 300, 79,700. So these are the payoffs for the sponge cake. Similarly, we can calculate the payoffs for the fruit cake as well. So fruit cake on three different states of nature is going to be under the poor demand conditions. It is 3000 into 20 minus 3000 into 7. Where is the 7? The 7 is given here. 7 is the variable cost for the fruit cake. 500 is the fixed cost for the fruit cake. So we put them 3000 into 20. So 20 is the sales price minus 3000 into 7 is the variable cost minus 500 is the fixed cost for the fruit cake. So when you do this calculation, we will get 38,500. Now from the moderate demand, we are getting 4000 sales. Therefore 4000 into 20 minus 4000 into 7 minus 500. The fixed cost is not going to change with respect to the number of demand, but the manufacturing cost, that is the variable cost, will change, because whenever we are increasing the number of units for sales, that is 4000 into 7, that is going to be the variable cost for us. Under the high demand condition, it is going to be 5000. So it is 5000 into 20 minus 5000 into 7 minus 500, 64,500. So these are the payoffs for the fruit cakes under three different states of nature. Now we are ready with all the payoffs. Let us tabulate them. So the payoff table is going to be, so let us put the cause of action on the left side. So we are having three types of things. We either can make a butter cake, or we can make a sponge cake, or we can make a fruit cake. Okay, so under the poor conditions, we got 44,800. We have calculated it before, just we can fill up them here. Then butter cake under the moderate condition is 59,800. Profit from the butter cake from high demand condition is 74,800, that we can fill up here. Then coming to the sponge cakes, profit from sponge cake when the demand is poor is 47,700, that we can fill up here. Sponge to moderate, sponge to moderate is 63,700, we can fill up that here. And sponge under high demand condition is 79,700, that is filled up here. Now coming to the fruit cakes. Fruit cake under poor demand condition is 38,500, and fruit cake under moderate condition is 51,500, and fruit cake under high demand condition is 64,500. So this is the payoff table for the manufacturer. Okay, our first question is answered. Form the payoff table means we have formed the payoff table. So put the cause of actions in the left side here and put the states of nature here. Okay, so this is a total payoff table for us. Let us see how to make a decision based on the pessimistic approach. The pessimistic approach, we first find what is the minimum in each and every row. Okay, so if you are taking this row 44,800, 59,800, 74,800, find what is the minimum number. Small number is coming here, 44,800. So that is a row minimum here. Second one is the minimum is coming 47,700 here, and the minimum is going to be 38,500 in the third row. Now after finding the minimum in all the three rows, find the maximum in this column. So out of these three values, 44,800, 47,700, 38,500, find the big number, that is a maximum number. That maximum number is corresponding to sponge. Okay, poor conditions. Okay, therefore we can expect the, under the pessimistic approach, we can expect a profit of 47,700. So our decision is to make the sponge cake. Pessimistic approach means, in pessimistic approach, decision maker tries to maximize his profit assuming the worst situation. So when the worst situation comes, we can expect these profits 44, 47, 38. Okay, so here we are trying to maximize the profit. So the maximum number is coming 47,700 here. So we take the decision, or we suggest the decision to the manufacturer to make the sponge cakes only. So the decision according to the pessimistic approach is to prepare sponge cakes. Now let us go to the ambivalent approach. In the ambivalent approach, we can see that what is the maximum in each and every row. The first row, the maximum is 74,800. The second row, the maximum is 79,700. So find the big number in each and every row. Okay, so this row, the maximum is coming 79,700. So that we can take it here. And in the third row, 38,500, 51,500, 64,500. Take the big number, 64,500. Now, out of all these three values, choose the minimum number. The minimum number is 64,500. Ambivalent approach. In ambivalent approaches, decision maker assumes the worst out of the best situations. Okay, so when the best situation happens, these are the possible profits, then we take the worst one. Okay, so minimum one, 64,500. So according to this is coming in the row fruit. Therefore we can make a decision. The manufacturer decides to prepare fruit cakes only. The decision maker decides to make fruit cakes only. So this is the answer for the second part. And third part, it is optimistic approach. Optimistic approach is find the maximum in all the rows. Okay, so find the maximum here 74,800, here 79,700 and 64,500. Take the big numbers in all the rows. And out of all these three numbers, you choose the big number. So 74, 79, 64. So this is the big number for us. So the big number is coming here. Therefore, correspondingly, sponge cakes. In optimistic approach, decision maker assumes the best situation and expects the maximum profit. So the manufacturer decides to prepare sponge cakes only. So you have to write the conclusion for the sponge cake. So these are the very basic three approaches. Now let us go to the next level. Probabilistic approach. In the probabilistic approach, if the probabilities are given to us, we can take the probabilities and multiply the corresponding states of nature. But if there is no probability given, we assume that they are having equal chances. So here we are having three states of natures. So we can take the average of these three. 44,800, 59,800, 74,800. So three columns are given. So add all the three numbers divided by 3. That is going to be equal to 59,800. And same way we can do the second line as well. Add all the three numbers divided by 3, 63,700. And for the third row, it is 51,500. We find the row averages. In the row averages, we should find the maximum number. So the maximum number coming 63,700 here. So in the probabilistic approach, decision maker collects the data for each demand situations and calculate his profit based on it. If no probability is available, he assumes all the different situations are of equal probability and choose the maximum profit. Equal probability means see how many columns are given. 3 columns are given means divided by 3. If 4 columns are given, 4 different states of natures are given means 1, 2, 3. If fourth row is given, you can divide it by 4. Okay. So in this case, the manufacturer decides to prepare sponge cake only. So correspondingly this one, sponge cake only. Fourth one is the experts criterion or Hurwicz criterion. In the question it is given that Hurwicz criterion is having 0.6. Therefore, before going to the Hurwicz criterion, we should find the maximum in the row and minimum in the row. So in this row the maximum is 74,800, minimum is 44,800. Now based on these two numbers apply this formula. Take this one and multiply by 0.6 plus take the small number multiply with 1 minus 0.6. So this is the degree of optimism. This is given to us in the question, so we are using it. So alpha equal to 0.6, 1 minus 0.6, okay, 1 minus alpha. So when I calculating this 62,800. Now coming to the second row, small number is big number is here and small number is here. So our value is 66,900, and for the fruit cakes maximum is here and minimum is here. So therefore these are the values. Now let us apply to the formula. We get it is 51,100. Out of all these three possibilities, choose the maximum one. So the maximum is coming here 66,900. So correspondingly sponge cake. So we can say that sponge cake is the best option for the manufacturer. In Hurwicz criterion approach, decision maker takes the expert's opinion and balance the maximum and minimum values according to the optimism level. Okay, so and choose the maximum profit out of it. Here the level of optimism alpha is equal to 0.6. So after applying this in the table, we got maximum value occurs at sponge cake. So finally the manufacturer decides to prepare sponge cake only. So these are the two approaches based on the Laplace criterion and Hurwicz approaches. So we got answers for all the different 5 approaches. Okay, so it is based on, it is left to the decision maker to choose which method is suitable for him. So I hope you understood the decision making process under the uncertainty states of natures. Okay, we will continue with the various types of other decision makings under different scenarios in the coming videos. Wish you all the best. Signing off, Dr. C. Sudhakar.